Hey, how's it going, Eth Trader? Jeremiah Nickel here, March 30th, 2017. I wanted to make a quick video based on a post that Midnight on Mars made last night on Eth Trader. I did private message him to get his approval to talk about this post because I think it's super important for anybody that didn't get a chance to read it to go look at his comment history. He's new to the sub, and we talked over a private message and corroborated some sources. I didn't want him to reveal too much to me because of confidentiality and stuff like that. I wanted him to be able to do that on his own if he wants to. But this was a very important post. And for those of you that are driving or traveling and you want to just listen to the post, I want to read this to you because I think it sounds really good when read aloud. He says, "I'm not a time traveler." That's like a new meme around here. "But this sub is filled with garbage today, so I wanted to share some actual information." All right, garbage person here. I post a lot of crap, but I try to put meaningful stuff out there as well. He goes on, "I'm not sure if they'll be among the upcoming Enterprise Ethereum Alliance members soon to be announced by consensus, but State Street is getting involved with the group. They had representation at the EEA launch and are part of the technical working group already. The name may not resonate on this forum as much as with some tech firms, as it is not a consumer-facing entity." That's important right there. "But this is one of the most official, globally, systematically important banks with trillions of dollars in both assets under custody and assets under management. And they are also putting a lot of money into developing blockchain solutions. This is significant not only for the size and reach of the institution, but for the possibility that with sufficient support for enterprise Ethereum financial institutions may be worried about missing out on an emergent blockchain standard, considering that, to date, no other consortium or blockchain technology is gaining this much traction." That's a huge point. This is something Bitcoin, I'm stopping reading his paragraph here because I want to chime in on this. This is the FOMO of institutions. Bitcoin never shared this, not to the degree that I believe Ethereum will. And I was saying a couple of months ago, even back at the late December, it was like this price. It felt like price suppression. Everybody feels like there's always manipulation. There are some people, I should say. Part of me was thinking, okay, maybe the institutions directly are not getting involved, but the individuals within those institutions are quietly collecting this Ethereum because they are talking about it around the office. This is no exception. State Street is giganto, okay? When you think about institutions that kind of run the behind the scenes of other institutions that are not public facing entities, that's where like the big boy smart money is sitting, okay? So this is interesting. Anyway, I'll keep going here. Okay, this is significant not only for the size and reach of the institution, but for the possibility that with sufficient support for enterprise Ethereum, financial institutions may be worried about missing out on an emergent blockchain standard, considering that to date no other research blockchain solutions and are working with let me back up. I messed up because the text is a little small for me. To date, no other consortium the FOMO, got it. One caveat is that SSB, that's State Street Bank, is continuing to aggressively research other blockchain solutions and are working with Hyperledger internally along with PeerNova's Cuneiform. But at this point, their commitment to the tech is not just speculative. They are demoing working implementations for clients. They have also been working with Solidity programming for over a year and describe it as being, quote, intuitive and not dissimilar to coding in C, end quote. There you have it. So we've gone away from the days of Bitcoin with these institutions talking about the idea of blockchain, right? Because that's all that kind of came out of all the chat with Bitcoin and the big institutions was, well, we'll look into it, right? We're going to experiment with it a little bit. Man, State Street Bank, they've been looking at different flavors of blockchain. It's not a matter of when or if. I mean, they're doing it, okay? They're rolling out code, okay? Here we go, moving on. A year ago, when they did their first proof of concept, the internal conclusion was that Ethereum was not ready for prime time. but EEA and their new experiments with JP Morgan's Quorum are convincing them otherwise. If companies start going live with quorum-based solutions for things such as OTC derivatives trading, I think that means over-the-counter, could be wrong, a successful launch will lead us to a desire for public chain interoperability and a need for industry-wide standards. The tech is past the speculation phase and getting into the implementation phase, which brings me to my last point in this exceedingly long post. I'll stop right there for a second. Midnight on Mars, please make your posts as long as you want to, man. All right? We love content. I know there's been lots of talks about people wanting to buy Italian tractors and eating a dozen pastries or whatever. That's all meme stuff, and I participate in that wholeheartedly. Every now and then I put a long post out there too, gauging sentiment. We love that stuff because it is kind of hard to find information through the noise, and somebody like yourself that has a little bit of an inside scoop, that's awesome, man. Just keep yourself, you know, I don't want you to get in trouble doing it, but you're bringing to light things you're seeing firsthand, and that's amazing. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so he says, it brings me to my last point in this exceedingly long post. Excuse me. People in this sub are not seeing the forest for the trees. Hallelujah, right? This example is just one industry that's investing heavily in preparing to implement blockchain solutions. Ethereum is quickly emerging as the most likely candidate for a standard, and people are still saying they'd be excited if Ethereum's market cap achieves parity with Bitcoin's peak. Isn't that the truth? I've gotten so far removed from Bitcoin land, I even forgot that there's Bitcoin to Ethereum token pairings on the exchanges. Like, that tells you something right there. The number of pairs coming online that are there's what, half as many pairs available on Ethereum as there are Bitcoin. That's a huge leap forward. Okay, this idea of everything that we do is gauged on the best successes of Bitcoin. Fellas and ladies, this is not a competition with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to survive and do its own thing. The fact is, our sights are so much farther beyond because everything we're doing in crypto is an experiment. But Ethereum has this patchwork and patch quilt of amazing institutions that are starting to FOMO in on the tech and the developers. And the developers are in the network effect, and now we're looking at the price, and that's becoming kind of a network effect in and of itself. I think we're still trying to figure out what the price is, but in my last video, I was saying it looks like everything under $50 is a steal right now. It's like, here we are, you know. Just remember, the people that bought 1 Bitcoin worth of Ethereum at the ICO, that's $100,000 today. Okay, so people are going to be taking profits. That's great. Flush the system. Let's move it around and get some of this Ethereum in new people's hands, and it's happening. All right? Let's see. Last one. Satoshi laid the groundwork, but Bitcoin's market cap is a drop in the ocean of if these initiatives come to fruition, okay? So what he's saying there is that crypto as a whole, a 25 billion whatever market cap industry, it's still just a complete drop in the ocean. I mean, do you guys realize that if one of these institutions in the EEA really wanted to FOMO in and buy the order book, you would wake up tomorrow to $100. It's that simple. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, if they want to get in on the public chain, which that's going to happen, the private chain is going to do their thing on the backside. The public chain is going to have value. The developers are going to be, you know, able to code for both. It's interoperable. They want the public chain to be able to snap into the back end on behind the scene. It just makes sense. Why wouldn't you use the public chain? That's going to be the key to the private chain success because a lot of development is sitting outside the institutions. Institutions are relying on development on both sides of the fence, not just in-house, right? So I think it's amazing. I got to read that sentence again. Satoshi laid the groundwork, but Bitcoin's market cap is a drop in the ocean if a fraction of these initiatives come to fruition. Yes, the future is uncertain and our investments could still tank. But a challenger likely to beat Ethereum as a new industry standard blockchain has yet to emerge. I think in a year's, this is what he says, I think in a year's time, we'll have a much clearer vision of where things are going. But it's very possible that in the not too distant future, talk of breaking $250 and above, scalping 50 cents per ether day trading will see quaint at best. I agree. How many of you guys that have been kind of watching the price were just kind of excited about the $1 moves, right? And now we're looking at the $5 moves. And now we're getting into the $10 moves, right? That's what we've done, 20. And then sideways, 30. Sideways, 40. Sideways, new all-time high, crash, 30, right? 30, 50, $30, 50 cents or whatever. What did it do? Went straight back up above 40 without hesitation. New floor. Now we're at 50. Are we going to get a new floor? Look at the forest among the trees, people. Okay, that's the reality. And somebody else had said in F Trader one time, and I love this quote. It's like breaking through this kind of $50 resistance range. $100 is going to feel like a magnet. Okay, you guys are smart. You know what you're doing. If you're new to this stuff, and you're going to have to get ready to stomach the swings. There's going to be some incredible volatility ahead. Everybody's trying to discover price of this beast. But set your sights higher than reaching Bitcoin's parity and all, their all-time high, and our market cap is equal to its all-time high. Stop comparing the two. You're not going to be able to compare the two 1 year from now based on a post like that. Okay? So, big hats off. Midnight on Mars. What an incredible post. That's right. I'm bold as you get. All right? So, cheers from Kansas City. Big hugs to you guys. If we hit $100, I told my wife I would fly her and Anise to DevCon 3 in Cancun, and I'll make sure that she's drinking on the beach, and then I'll be drinking with you guys at DevCon 3. I've never been to even a local meetup before. I've never been to any one of these things that you've done. I'm not really financially independent to do those things, okay? But I love you guys. I love the F Trader sub forum, and be good and enjoy the next few weeks. I think it's going to be amazing, including time traveling. All right, we're apparently working on that now. Okay, be good, guys. Take care.